Okay, Mr. Martin,
Yes.
would you describe yourself as a person who favors strict enforcement of all the drug laws, or are you willing to view drug crimes as nonviolent crimes worthy of prosecutorial discretion, especially regarding charging and recommending sentences?
Like I said earlier, with regard to the drug court question, I believe drug court was conceptualized, set up for the purpose of dealing with the user. With the user does present a particular set of problems. I personally believe, and I believe all of the evidence, studies, and information will bear out that the problem with drugs creates almost all of the other crime that we see. It's responsible for the wife beatings, the children beatings, the petty thefts, the breaking and enterings. So it becomes, it's a very, very difficult issue. I do believe in very strong enforcement of all laws. Oftentimes you hear about marijuana and what we hear about with other states making it legal. Well, it's illegal in West Virginia, and it's a violation of law, and prosecution should go forward on that. We do have a problem with assessing the issue of the user as opposed to the distributor, and the user that is committing other crimes to support and help their habit. So it's a very difficult issue. It's a very difficult decision as to who should go into drug court and who shouldn't. As I said, I'm not a fan of it. I don't believe it works as well as Gene does, and I don't believe it works as well here or anywhere else in the state of West Virginia. You have to make some very difficult decisions, and a lot of times those decisions are wrong. Just as Gene said, there are success stories in this county. There are also failures in this county. And it becomes a very difficult thing, but uniform enforcement of the law has got to be the rule in the prosecutor's office.
Thank you. Mr. Simmons.
I think it's fair to say that probably 90% of my work has to do with drugs. And my position on drugs is I'm against it all. You've got to enforce the law, particularly in relation to the people who sell. The people that use are in a different category. The people that use, I think we can help insofar as our drug courts are concerned. But I cannot visualize a seller or a manipulator of drugs being able to get in, at least through me when I'm prosecutor, being able to get into drug court. Drug court is primarily for those people that are using. Insofar as the drug courts itself, I'm in favor of a strict as far as I think the judge should, at least the individuals who are selling drugs to other people, even children or whatever, I think those drugs should be really enforced to the nth degree. And we have places to keep those people in jail. And that's been my philosophy. And if you look at the record, you'll see that we have, I think my jail bill last month was over $20,000. And normally it would only run 7 or 8, but we keep the people in jail. And I think people in Pocahontas County are well satisfied with the fact that they would much rather see some of these people selling drugs as to have them in jail. Even though it's costing me $48 a day to keep them in jail, I think they're better off in jail than they are out selling drugs. So even though there's some question about drug court, I'm in favor of it from the extent that we get the users or the people that came addicted to it as a result of either hospital use or etc. or accident, something to that effect. But insofar as the prosecution, I'm in favor of, like Bob is, in relation to the prosecution of those individuals, particularly those who sell.